Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals. Let me get a sip of my water first. My beautiful radio voice going. Let's talk about this. All right, one of the problems that we have, and this is something I brought up in an earlier video yesterday, and I get people who are like, Jason, some of the stuff you buy is organic occasionally, but most of it isn't. Why aren't you making an effort? And this is exactly the problem we have to what creates this false perception that eating healthy is expensive, right? The average person says, I can't afford to eat healthy. And I'm like, really? To me, that's insane. It costs less to eat healthy than it does to eat all this junk. And people don't get that. They're really not looking at the costs. And the only time that happens is when people buy into healthy TM, right? Not actual healthy, not good nutrition, but what companies have marketed to you as healthy, which is complete BS. I like to call it bougie fitness, right? It's bougie. Organic food is bougie fitness, right? You buy organic, I'm going to say this politely, to show that you're a rich white woman. That's basically the purpose of buying organic food, right? That's basically what it means. It's to say that I'm bougie, right? The same reason you buy, a Mercedes or a BMW. It's for the same purpose. It's for show. It's not necessarily healthier. People are like, what do you mean yes it is? I'm like, no, it really isn't. And most experts agree. The only real concerns might be things like pesticide levels, but they're generally kept within normal ranges. And as I said in the other video on that, if you drink one alcoholic beverage per week, the toxic load on your liver and on your system is already dramatically, probably 50-fold higher than you could possibly even get from these foods. Okay, so we need to be clear there. So it's kind of like people will do things like, they'll indulge in other activities that create way more toxicity in your body than these sort of concerns. And then they'll worry about things like, organic food. Okay, this is stepping over dollars to pick up dimes. Okay, it's nonsense. All right, but here's the problem. All of this creates this idea that if I can't afford organic kale or these organic acai berries or this specific $8 a box cereal, I can't afford to be healthy. No, it's just too expensive. When nothing could be further from the truth. It's like I've explained, and this is why this is understood. This is why this is research. This is why nutritionists and nutrition researchers research this stuff to try to make sure that the average person can afford to eat healthy. Okay, they look at these things. All the resources are there, by the way, for everybody to eat healthy in America. It's that people choose not to utilize those resources. They choose to either remain ignorant, because you can literally, even people who are, receiving supplemental stuff like food stamps, if you look at what those programs even try to push and reduce some of the junk food and other stuff, if you go look at a lot of those programs, they're kind of set in place to try to make it easier, because that's what they do, for people to eat reasonably healthy. And that's the idea, and it's not expensive. It really isn't. My diet's going to be way more expensive because I'm a competitive athlete who needs 4,000 calories a day. Okay? Understand the difference. My needs are not your needs. So realistically, you step back over and go, so wait, the average person probably only needs 50, 60% of the food I need. That means their grocery bill is going to be half. Okay? Again, common sense. So when you step back and look at it, what do I mean by healthy? Frozen vegetables, perfect example. That is the cheapest, most nutritious version of vegetables. And I do mean the research has looked at this over and over and over. Frozen vegetables have a higher nutrition value than the stuff in the fresh produce section, and they're usually slightly cheaper. It's more cost effective on the production end. So again, someone says, I can't afford to eat healthy. I'm like, you can't afford $1 a pound frozen broccoli to add to your food? You can't come up with $1 a day? Like, because I'm trying to buy this $6 salad with organic kale and organic acai berries or whatever new silly nonsense are coming up. You can just get normal broccoli. Perfect. It's already a superfood, selectively bred superfood. Then everything else, you look at what's on sale, buy bulk rice, oats, all these things, right? Those are your carb and calorie sources. Does anyone honestly think that potatoes, sweet potatoes, normal potatoes, go look at the cost per pound. They're pretty cheap. Rice is cheap. Bananas are cheap. Then you look and see what's on sale. What fruits and vegetables are on sale this week? And quit worrying about nonsense of, is it organic, humanely harvested? Look, are you concerned with health or not? Do you want to be bougie? Do you want a virtue signal? Or are you trying to eat healthy? All right, make up your mind. Now, if you're trying to virtue signal, then you need to find the newest organic, cruelty-free, whatever bananas that people are eating. Okay, but then you're rich, so you're virtue signaling and displaying your wealth anyways. So, who cares about the cost at that point? But again, for the majority of people, when I see people saying, oh, you should all be trying to eat this, I'm like, do you not understand that the economy's bad, inflation is up, people are on tight budgets, okay? You're pushing them towards stuff they possibly can't afford that has no benefit other than virtue signaling. I can afford the bougie organic food, okay? That's it. That's the entire purpose of eating it, the display of wealth. And in many cases, it's less healthy. By the way, go dig into that. People are like, oh, it's always, but no, it's not. In some cases, it has less nutrition value. But that, you have to actually research that on a food-by-food basis, and you probably don't care. Do you really care that you're losing 6% of your vitamin C? Come on. But that is the problem. People have done this instead of saying, hey, what is healthy eating? Lean protein sources, check and see what's on sale. Doesn't matter whether you're plant-based or eating animal stuff, fine. Chicken breast is cheap. Fat-free dairy is usually cheap. Tofu's cheap. Okay? So even if you're going to do the other route, tofu's not that expensive. For the frozen vegetables. And another stuff is whole food. Learn to cook. That's it. That's really what it comes down to. Can you learn to cook? Because healthy generally means our diet is low in saturated fat, low in added fats, low in refined sugars, low in added sugars, preferably zero of most of those things. All right? High in fruits and vegetables, high in fiber. That is what a healthy diet means. Okay? It doesn't mean healthy TM. Okay? That's not what it means. And I feel like people have lost sight of this. Right? Because you have a whole industry that markets to this. But keep in mind, the health food industry that's marketing these things is marketing to upper middle class people. That is who it markets to. And if you're not in that category, then quit worrying about it and just eat what's actually healthy instead of what some companies have marketed to you as healthy. Okay? It's not that complicated. People want to argue why. Well, you can believe whatever you want, but you're fucking wrong. And you don't have data to support your nonsense. That's it. Okay, you want to go do the bougie fitness thing, the hippie fitness thing, do whatever you want, but quit trying to tell people that it's reality, because it's not. And you don't have evidence to support it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.